Just going to text people that I'm on stream. I'm also going to send out some stuff to... So I'm going to send my... I'm just going to send things to my... Just gonna go ahead and send Julian the Zoom link, and then let me go ahead and go and read my docs for Julian. Let me know if you guys are... Let me also go see myself on Twitch. Let me know if you guys can hear me, if you're in chat, please. If you can hear me, if I am showing up right. So yeah. I need to move my light a little bit. Can you guys please type in chat and let me know if you can hear me? Let's make sure I'm the right. Okay, I have the right. Can hear you, but image stuck. Okay. Gotcha. And also, welcome to our stream, D47. Boy, nice to see you. Can you see my, oh, okay. You're saying my image is stuck? It might just be the, it may possibly be just like, oh, okay. Now I'm good. Good. And okay, so I am ready for my interview today. I'm gonna be interviewing somebody that I used to work with. He's a really good product leader. His name is Julian Espinoza, and I'm super excited to have him on in a few minutes. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna go onto YouTube and just find some like copyright-free music. you HR? What's HR?
It goes something like this.
What is HR?
Your hair by Old Spice. The most one of a kind, best and only accessory you'll ever need. Grows on your head. Old Spice has their products.
Oh, I want to show you guys this. Oh, this is too loud. Okay, I want to show you guys this. I created this cool like display showcase for my portfolio. But yeah. Today I'm gonna be like expanding on it a little bit and creating a better scene. But yeah, I'm super excited. I think I like learned a lot of like spline stuff. So yeah. 50%. Okay. I made one at 50 and then I made one that's not at 50. One that's a little bit blurry and foggy and one that's more clear. I think I'll be going with the more clear one. Human Resources in Company. No, I'm not HR. I'm a product designer. I sometimes wish I was HR though. HR kind of has some nice jobs. But yeah. Why are you HR? Do you do HR work at all? Why are you interviewing someone? Well, because this is a UX design channel and I interview people that are related to my field, and I try to like gain knowledge. So this is like a channel that basically documents my UX design / product design journey, and also my also just my like 3D modeling journey as well, because I do a lot of 3D modeling on here, because I'm working on a 3D modeling app, or like a 3D app for Apple Vision Pro, I should say. So I'm working on that, and then I'm working on my portfolio at the same time on this stream. So basically I'm like streaming all my work stuff. So it's like, I don't know, if you're into that, you should watch me. If you're not, then I mean, you can always just come and chill, but I don't know, I can't. But I'm super excited to interview him today. But yeah. Oh, is that also why you thought it was HR? Because I'm interviewing somebody? That would make sense. Anyways, I should go to my Zoom room. And then I'm gonna also pause the music. Hi, Julian.
Hey, Son, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Good.
1 second. Let me just.
Take your time. I'm gonna,
Oh,
be right back.
okay. Oh my god, it put me. Okay. So everyone, today on stream we would like to welcome Julian Espinoza. He's someone I've had the pleasure of working with at a health tech company called Sizzle, and he has a really good background in business and entrepreneurship, and I'm super excited to talk with him today. He also runs a cool podcast called Wonder Why, where you learn about like how to tune into your body and understand what's going on with your body as well. So welcome to stream today, Julian. How are you?
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and I just have only the best things to say about the work we've done together.
Yes, me too. But how are you today?
Oh, it's a beautiful day. Couldn't be any better.
Yep. Definitely a beautiful day. So I just gave everyone an introduction to you, but also if you would like to introduce yourself too, that would be great.
I think you nailed it. Highlight, I'm a serial entrepreneur, currently running a health tech hair company. We've launched, we're in beta, and customers are loving the product, and that's largely in part thanks to Sana.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Julian. But I'm so glad to hear Sizzle's doing well. Where are you guys at currently? Like, if you can say.
Yeah, absolutely. We're totally cool to talk about anything. We're currently in the hands of about 15 practitioners. So let's give some context so everyone understands. We have like two customers, if you will. We have the healthcare provider, which is our dietitian. We built them a tool that they can use with the patient. And we have about 15 to 20 providers on the platform, and then they have patients on our platform. So it's two-sided. One side is the experience for the healthcare provider, the dietitian, and then the patient themselves. So we have a desktop experience for the healthcare provider, and we have an app experience for the patient. So we're probably about 15 to 20 dietitians and double to triple that on patient load.
Gotcha. So yeah, Streamly, just for context, Sizzle is like a patient tracking app for dietitians. So a lot of like dietitians have, different metrics that they're trying to, track for understanding the patient's health. So like, things like sleep, bowel movements, exercise, all those things. And they have a lot of like ways of tracking it. So they'd have like, spreadsheets or Google Docs or whatnot. Different dietitians have different things. But Sizzle really came in and became like a software where they can see everything at once and get just deeper insights into it. So, I worked alongside Julian and the product team just to make sure that the platform was ready for the first launch, MVP launch. And they are now out on the App Store and in the hands of dietitians, like Julian said. But yeah, that's super cool. I know you also have like a background in entrepreneurship, which I'm super interested about, and your podcast as well, if you want to tell us a little bit about that too.
Yeah, and if you ever feel that throughout the live that we want to share either the app experience or the desktop experience, I have both of those ready, and I can actually share my phone through Zoom. So whenever you want to cover that, that's great.
Yes.
So, sorry, can you ask the question one more time?
So we know you have a background in entrepreneurship and also like business, and I was just, wanting to, and also your podcast as well. So I was just wanting to know a little bit more about that as well, if you want to tell our stream.
Absolutely. Where I started in entrepreneurship or starting my own business, my first one was a marketing agency. Still have it to this day. We market companies, mainly companies that have products, something physical, tangible, CPG, consumer packaged goods. And we market those through social media. So we use Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube to market those businesses. And was my first business. I launched a podcast in that marketing category, and in the growth hacking category, we were the #1 podcast on Apple. We launched about 80 episodes, and I was really passionate and really loved that project. As my healthcare journey and my health journey sort of developed, I started to feel compelled that I wanted to help society and humanity in a different way through health. And I did that by starting a podcast called Wonder Why. Our podcast is dedicated not to telling you what to do. If you listen to a lot of healthcare podcasts, it's like there's like the 5 things: sleep better, eat better, get more exercise, drink more water, and get more sunlight. It's like the Huberman 5. Like, this is what you need to be doing. And I think all of us at this point, we generally know and either choose to do some of that or not. And my podcast was never designed to be this, here's what you should be doing. The podcast that we created was designed to give you a glimpse, even the smallest glimmer of what your body is trying to tell you. So here's kind of our podcast. So it's called Wonder Why, and here's a little intro. Your body's trying to tell you something. It's giving you hints that something isn't right. That's why we talk with expert dietitians to break down these early warning signs so you can get closer to understanding what your body is trying to tell you. And so the idea is like every weird bowel movement, every gas, every burp, every throat clearing, every fatigue, every allergy, all those things, the body is alerting you of something. And the question is, what is it alerting you of? And so with dietitians, we break these common symptoms down to find out what your body is trying to tell you and give you a pathway to figuring out what that warning sign might be.
Right. I actually listened to an episode. I think it was about why we're all so tired these days. So yeah, that was a good episode. I think just what I really like about the podcast too is just your approach with it. Like you said, you're not like prescribing anything, but just, chatting with dietitians. I also saw recently that you became a part of Heal LA. Is it like a cohort? And it's a program, right?
Absolutely. So the LARDA Institute has been around for 30 something years. They're here in Los Angeles, and they aim to help startups and help founders grow companies that are contributing to humanity in some way. And so they've funded 5,000. They've worked with 5,000 startups. 48% of them are minority-led or women-led. So really huge movement in that. They've their portfolio companies that they've worked with have raised $7 billion in funding, and 26 of those companies have actually IPO'd, which is super cool. And so LARDA has a program called Heal.LA, and its goal is to bring collaborative and innovative companies to the health and wellness of Los Angeles County and beyond. And so it's a really cool program. We were one of I believe 12 or 11 that were accepted this year in this cohort for LARDA Institute's Heal.LA program. And so what program is that? We should probably talk about what I'm doing. So that's called Dietitians for a Healthier America. we are also advocating on behalf of the dietitians. So as we got into the world of dietetics and working with dietitians, there's some very obvious things that are happening. The first is that every American doesn't have good coverage for dietetic care, which is weird because 8 out of the 10 leading causes of death here in the United States are preventable by nutrition and lifestyle change. And that's what a dietitian helps you do. So quite backwards, in my opinion. I'd rather heal people before they ever become sick instead of heal people after they become sick. So our idea is that we want to focus on quality of life, not longevity. It all kind of comes together, but our healthcare system currently is incentivized to extend life, not the quality of the life. So that's how we manage, and those are all the things, and I know that was a lot in a little bit, so feel free to jump in.
No, it was good. I was just wondering, like, how did you get in contact with Heal LA? What was the process like, getting into the program and everything?
The biggest thing about, and I'm not sure who the audience is that might be listening to this, the biggest thing about these programs and these accelerators and all these things is frankly just being aware that they exist. And so I think that's sort of a key component of anything is just what's out there. And so we were in a few ecosystems, specifically like with Bioscience LA. We were working with some people who knew LARDA. So it was just awareness. And in that case, I saw that Heal LA was taking applications and I just applied. So I think the biggest thing is just being aware of what's out there. There's a lot of great programs. There's a lot of money for great companies, founders to do cool things. It's just kind of being aware of them.
Gotcha. So just like going out there and looking for opportunities for yourself?
Yeah. And it's not easy. I mean, part of it is just like, there's a little bit of just getting yourself out there and getting into ecosystems. I remember one day I was at the rooftop at this random place in Los Angeles and I had no idea why I was even really there. And I met someone who introduced me to this one person, then introduced me to this person. And then like just the network effect just goes from there. And if you talk proudly about what you're doing and you talk about it with conviction and you have a clear, concise thing. So when people ask me about what we're doing with Dietitians for a Healthy America, someone might say, like, ask me the question and I can give you the little how I do it.
So what are you doing with Dietitians for Healthy America?
Well, thanks for asking, Sana. We believe every American should have access to a dietitian. 8 out of the 10 leading causes of deaths here are preventable by lifestyle and nutrition. So we believe that dietitians are on the forefront of preventative healthcare, and we want to make sure every American should have access to that.
Gotcha.
And when I say that to people, I'm not like pitching. It's just what we're doing, like what's going on. They asked me, and that when you're clear and concise, you know what I'm doing, you know what I'm about. You either believe what I'm doing or not, and you might know someone, and then that eventually brings you into ecosystems and places and networking, and then you meet people. So it's kind of about putting yourself out there, and not being too scared.
Gotcha. And how do you really get that clarity and that, conciseness to talk about your vision or, even your work or, like what you do?
I want to offer that everyone has different tools and different ways to being able to get there. My way, honestly, is just by saying it to a lot of people a lot of times and then finding out what works and what perks ears. So this has been like over several years. I've been saying things and then finally I found what perks ears. And you also have to know your audience too. If you're meeting a random stranger, I've got something. If I'm meeting a politician, I've got something. If I'm meeting an investor, I've got something. So you kind of need to know like who you're talking to. But if you're just talking to a random stranger, how I have sort of sharpened my knife is by actually sharpening the knife and trying it. I think we can get caught up sometimes in writing 20 different scripts and running them by. But I think your biggest place that you're going to get the most bang for your buck is working with a mentor. a mentor, you'll probably hear me say this throughout this podcast so many times, mentors have been the only reason that I've gotten to where I've gotten.
Gotcha. I think I totally believe in that, actually. I think, mentors are instrumental, and definitely during my time at Sizzle, I looked up to you as a mentor as well, Julian. I always really loved, like, the way you conducted yourself in, like, user interviews with dietitians. I felt like you really got them, energized and excited and motivated. But, that just shifting gears a little bit, how did you, get into Sizzle? How did you help Ryan, found it, basically?
Yeah, it was a fun journey. So, I mean, let me talk at the macro level right now, for just how finding a co-founder and finding things. Right now we're in an interesting place where, you've got several like cohorts of people. You've got engineers who can create. You've got designers and product people who can create these cool product ideas. You've got entrepreneurs who are business people who like want to be entrepreneurs, who might be good at sales or might be good. And so kind of you need all these sort of pieces to work together in order to work. And so I think like first and foremost, before I answer your question, it's figuring out what your specialty is, what your craft is. Because so many people want to start companies, but there's no underlying skill that they particularly have or they're particularly good at. It's like, oh, I just want to start a company. Cool. So did I, but I also know how to sell and do the work that I'm starting my company for. So you might want to start a digital marketing company. Well, can you market digitally? Or can you sell it? Because those are the two things that you need for an agency. Something like Sizzle, you need a lot of things, a lot more things. You're going to need someone who can code it, someone who can design it, and someone who can convince people to buy it. And then there's a lot of nuances from there. You need people who know how to interview those people and all those things. So there's so much to be said about finding a co-founder. I think the thing what it comes down to is once you identify like what your true skills are and like what you're really like what your zone of genius is, then figuring out what you really care about. Because as a salesperson, as a designer, or as an engineer, you can do this for someone who's trying to save the oceans, someone who's trying to save the trees. You could do this for a yoga place. You could do this for banking. You could do this for automotive. You could do this for heart surgery. I mean, you could do any of those things for any of these industries. So the thing I think that really you want to care about is, what do you care about? And usually we care about the things that affect us. That tends to be just how things work. And this is the story, the long journey to answering your question about how did I join Ryan, our founder, on this journey. So Ryan and I have known each other for a long time. We're family. And Ryan, a few years ago, started a meal planning app for himself. He looked at all these meal planners and he said, these are complete jokes. They don't work. They're just not efficient. From the grocery store shopping list to the making the meal experience and everything in between. It was really bad. And he was getting mentored with someone while he was starting the company. And at some point he had to make a pivot because he was making it an app that was kind of just for everyone. Instead, he said, oh, why don't I make it for people who have food sensitivities, because food sensitivities are on the rise. And so that's when, at that point, I started really capturing, like I started paying attention to him about it. Not that I didn't pay attention to him, I started actually really like, okay, this is something interesting. So him and I went through really similar corresponding health journeys that we ended up seeing dietitians for. And all that to be said, the dietitians really, in my perspective, saved my life and increased my quality of life. And we started talking about like sort of like what he was doing and how that could merge with working with dietitians. And we talked about that probably for like 3 or 4 months, and there was kind of no movement on that side. He just kind of kept going. And I said, well, you know, he had helped me in my business. So I said, hey, I'll come to help you for 6 months with your business. So I was like, all right, I'll give you 6 months. So I gave him 6 months, and then we really liked working with each other, and we really liked the mission that we're on, and we eventually became partners.
All right. You know, I've heard this story before, but always good to hear it again. You know, I actually think like you guys work so well together, because you do like all the product side, and then he does a lot of like the dev. So I feel like there's such a good synchronicity. But without further ado, I do want to see, you know, where you guys are at with the product. If you want to share your screen and show us.
Yeah, I've got 2 ways. Do you want me to do the desktop, or do you want to see the app?
So whichever you would prefer, or whichever one.
Okay. What do you think is more logical for the audience?
Let's see like the desktop actually.
Okay, cool. So what you're going to see is a very muted version of what you were experiencing. So just for context for everyone who's watching and listening, if you've made it this far, thank you. Or if you're just joining us. Sana was helping us design the back-end experience. So I'm going to actually show you both. But we decided to quickly launch, and we decided to launch a mild version of the experience just to vet if the dietitians even wanted this. So here is the muted version of the dietitian's dashboard. You can add a patient here, first name, last name, email address, and then you can turn on tracking categories here, and then you can click add. The patient will be sent a invitation and will be invited to track. So here's my data table, and here's what I track. So I track bowel movements, stress, food, water, sleep, and it's a very watered down version of what you probably know. Down here, we have some cool stuff that we've added. The tracking on and on categories, they're right here. You can turn them on and off. And then we have patient goals, where you can add patient goals in this. And you can add what's going on with the patient. So that is the dietitian side. Is there anywhere you want me to key in real quick, Sana?
Do you want to just go ahead and show us the patient as well?
Yep, I'll show you the patient.
Okay.
So that, I'm gonna have to share my iPhone. Let's see if I can do this. All right, here we go.
Oh, we can't see it.
So
okay.
when someone logs into Sizzle on their phone, this is as a patient, you have the different tracking categories. And so let's say you're experiencing a symptom. I might say I was bloating and it was severe and it was at 2:15 p.m. So I'm going to log that, and you can see it's made a note that it's logged it. My exercise, I actually did exercise today, so let's log that. It was a hard exercise actually, and that was at 10:30. We're going to do that and log that. I actually did eat today, so we're going to go cereal, and I had that at 8:30. I'm very regimented, so I just know this all by everything. And then I had eggs at 12:30. So this is 4 eggs and 2 toast.
And this is all on the App Store, right? Like you can go on the Sizzle app and start using this?
Yep, and I had 8 hours of sleep. So I just logged, a few different items there. You can scroll to previous days. You can click at the top to get to the most current day, or if you want to go to dates and history, you can go to the app there. We're going to be releasing more features here on the patient app very soon. and then you can go to settings and put on reminders to remind yourself to track.
Gotcha. I actually really like the app. I think it looks so good, and I'm so glad that we have like the first version. But I just wanted to know, so since you're like a product, leader, what are some challenges that you have, working with everyone? What are some, and how do how do you solve those challenges, I would say?
Yeah. So the first thing I think that, and I'm not sure if you're talking about the team. Are you talking about the team, or are you talking about our audience?
So I'm talking about like our team, and also if our team actually, yeah.
Okay. So internally the team. So
Yeah.
the question is,
How do you like keep people
what kind of
motivated?
challenges do I face working with the team? As a first time product lead in this way, I faced a lot of issues. The first was just managing people's projects and schedules and timing. I think the biggest thing that a product manager is going to have to do is really look at the schedule and really plan out the future. And I had to learn that pretty quickly, that I had to plan out future things. So if our goal for this quarter was to release a feature, when did my user experience team need to do their research? How long would it take them to do their research? After that, how long would the first initial draft take? Then, how long would it take to get to the next stage of UX? Then after that, how long would it take to get UI done? And then, how long would it take to get developer-ready files?
Gotcha.
So it's like you're talking about a lot of schedules and a lot of forecasting. And I think that's what makes a good product manager able to ship product, is being able to forecast your team's abilities, your team's timelines, the ability to get feedback from your audience and manage all of that. So it's just a lot of managing. It's not a lot of telling people what to do. Everyone thinks being a manager is like, oh, you get to tell people what to do. That is the last thing you get to do, right? You can speak anecdotally, Sana. Did I ever micromanage you?
No. You just say like, these are the tasks. When do you think you can get them done? We need them done by this time, and go for it and show me something,
Right. And so I don't get to tell you, I get to tell you what project I want you to work on, but that's about it. All the other things I got to do is essentially manage how long it's going to take you to take it, and is that going to line up with all the other things that need to line up? And I think that's a key takeaway that I had to learn rather quickly, was managing schedules and forecasting. That's the big one.
Gotcha. So I know you've also worked with, plenty of designers, and you've probably hired a few too. So, for all the design people here, what do you look for when hiring designers?
So we have our interview process includes a, take home project. And it's usually something related to the work we're doing within the last quarter, or a project that we've done, at some point, and we want to just measure how you've done compared against other candidates. So advice that I have in terms of what I'm looking for in that particular case is their understanding of the prompt, or their understanding of the project. In your case, you had a deeper understanding of the work that we are trying to do, and that came through in the work. And so when you're doing a project like this, research, right? Researching the problem, researching what it is. So in our case, we work with dietitians. So it's like, well, what is a dietitian? Okay, they do this. Okay. Oh, I just realized they do clinical. Are they working with hospitals? Oh no, look at this prompt. Oh, they're working with dietitians in private practice outside the hospital. Okay. So now you're already a step ahead because you understand a large part of this industry that it's split up into two fragments, inside of a hospital, outside of a hospital. Okay, cool. So now what do these type of dietitians do outside of the hospital? And so now you start to think about those kind of things. And when you start to get that context, it starts to come through in your design. And you're like, okay, these dietitians, they work with patients on helping them with their weight loss. They help them feel better from maybe some chronic diseases like Crohn's or colitis. They help patients with kidney disease. How do they help those patients? What does that relationship look like? And as you dig deeper, you get to understand. And it again, I'll kind of broken record, it comes through in your design. And so I think it's just a dedication to being curious and digging deep.
Gotcha. See, everybody in the chat, it's all about understanding who your audience is, who you're, going after, and what they're looking for. And also, Julian, a lot of times when we did user research, we'd talk to different dietitians, and you had a really good understanding of, what they were looking for and what things they wanted from the product. How did you gain that understanding? I always wondered that.
It's a good question. It took time. And I mean, the way that I fast tracked that, funny enough, is I actually started the podcast first. And that's how I fast tracked my understanding of what the dietitians are looking for and what they're interested in. So, the question then becomes is like, if someone's listening to this, well, I can't start a podcast. How do you get a hold of them, and what do you say to them to get them to care? And part of that is being an entrepreneur. I gave them a reason to talk to me. I gave them something that I was solving for, something that was important to them. And then I gave them space to talk about it. And so I gave them a reason to talk to me. That's the short answer. And because I talked to so many of them, at that point it was like, well, are my ears open, and have I unclogged my ears, and can I just hear and listen and write down notes? And that's how I gained the understanding of who they were, what they're dealing with, and what's going on.
Gotcha. What are some things that some new things that you've learned recently about their needs and what they need?
It's a good one. What have I learned recently?
Or just their challenges?
Yeah, I want to give you a thoughtful answer. It's a good one because you're adding the scope of recently. They I think what I learned individually was how much I didn't really realize that diabetes was such an important aspect of a dietitian's care. They actually treat a lot of diabetic patients. And I guess I kind of I don't know if I misread that, but I didn't really put the type of emphasis in it as to what I thought, which means since I didn't put an emphasis on the things that were important in dietetic care as it relates to tracking, like blood sugar. And so blood sugar was sort of added much later on, and we're about to launch it this week and ship that product out, which is super exciting. But I think it would have been nicer if I had really gathered that information sooner. So I wasn't releasing this feature when it should have shipped originally with the product.
Gotcha. I feel like Sizzle has such a, unique ecosystem too, just working there. Such a unique, like, design approach. What do you guys really prioritize, And I know the answer, but I wanted the stream to know as well.
Well, we prioritize as a company or as a philosophy?
As a company.
Well, you prioritize, it all has a symbiotic relationship with it. So the priority is technically the company needs to make money.
Obviously.
But it has a symbiotic relationship with what's useful. We build tools that are useful, right? That is a core focus of the company. Is we're not building things for us, we're building things for our customers. And our job is just to understand their lives, their business, and their needs and wants, and their desires closer. And the more we understand them, the closer we will be able to create value for them, which essentially will do what the company needs to do, which is be able to charge customers and make money.
Gotcha. I mean, this might be kind of a broader question too, but how do you make, design and product decisions that help align with that goal?
Say that one more time, sorry.
How do you make design and product decisions that kind of align with the company's goals, as well as the dietitian's goals too?
Well, I got to tell you, Sana, that if anyone's listening to anything, this is one of the coolest questions that you've asked. It's actually how you extract the biggest value of anything, which is how do you forecast and build a product roadmap that gets you to profitability or gets you to revenue. And that's a constant everyday thing at Sizzle. We're always trying to figure out what are the next set of features and what are the next set of things that our customer base needs in order to be, in order for us to create value in their daily lives. I think how to answer that is, again, understanding your audience. So like I can give you our framework. Our framework is dietitians in private practice. And we look at, there's two sides of the ecosystem. They either work with insurance-based patients or they work with private pay or cash patients. So that means it's coming out of the patient's pocket versus insurance paying and reimbursing the dietitian. So you've got those two audiences. And then you look at what do those audiences treat in terms of their patient pools. So, there's the big five is cardiovascular, weight loss, gut, kidney, and diabetes. So you have to understand at a macro level what the dietitian serves. And so then you have those five categories that we treat, that dietitians treat. Now, in those individually, what does the dietitian care about when treating a patient for any one of those particular things? And so then you have that list, and then you take a look at all of them, and you look at how they intersect, and you look at like, okay, well maybe we go gut health, and we focus on that, because that, if you cover gut health, we know we've got that category covered, and that covers 60% of all the features. Cool. So you did that. Then you've got these other ones that you've unlocked, and then you just add blood sugar, and now you can do diabetes patients. And so you're managing how many dietitians you can serve based on the treatments, the type of treatment that they offer. And then we haven't even talked about eating disorders. That's a whole nother category. But yes, that is, in a sense, how we look at this.
Gotcha. Because I remember in a lot of our sessions after user research, we'd look at different insights the team got, but then we'd have to start prioritizing them. And I remember you were really good at that. And how did you kind of tune into which design decisions you want to prioritize, and which ones you wanted to do later, and which ones kind of need to be taken off the list?
Give me a for instance, so I know exactly what moments that you were talking about.
So, like, I think it was after, like, we did the first version of meal log and timeline. We ran a test. We did, like, a user walkthrough with a few dietitians, and then we all came back with different insights. Like, the whole team came back with different insights, and then we decided, as a team, like, which insights were the most important to design for, and then other ones we kind of just said, okay, we'll do this in the future, or we would address this in a later version. How do you figure out, like, the scope, I guess? How do you...
Yeah, I mean, I think all these lead back to knowing your audience. Everything leads back to knowing your audience. And at some point, though, you can live in the world of trying to learn too much about your audience and never ship anything, versus like shipping something early. And I have a proclivity for putting things out there, and I just love putting designs out there in front of dietitians all the time. We were putting things in front of them for basically a whole year, and then we started coding. We were coding some things in the background that we knew we were gonna need, but we were always like just showing them this and showing them that, and like, how do you like this and how do you like that, and what don't you like about this? And so I think the more you know about your audience, the closer you can get. And then at that point, don't be scared to show them, and just show them screens and show them an experience. And Figma, a Figma walkthrough, which we can show you guys at some point, was really helpful for that, and that was really, really helpful to get an understanding of what they liked versus what they didn't like.
Right. I remember we also used you as like a patient, and we had a profile based on you. Feel free to show us like the walkthrough too if you want to.
Yep. This is what we call our aspirational dashboard. It is what we aim to be at some point. You click on a patient and you get to this really kind of easy to digest calendar where it shows if a patient has done any tracking and if they've alerted that dietitian to that particular day. So you click on that day and you can see maybe, there's abdominal pain and gas and bloating. And then the dietitian can work backwards to figure out maybe where that gas and where that abdominal pain came from. And then you might say, okay, well, July 3rd is not enough. Let's just go to the meal logs themselves, and let's go backwards in the meal logs to see what's going on. You can also go to your timelines and see what's happening with the patient over several days. You can look at the weeks of how that data is translating, and then you can filter out for particular things. Like we could filter out for, let's see, filter soft blobs. So here, let's go to soft blobs again. So we can filter out for all the days that someone basically had what's called a loose bowel movement, and this will tell us what is happening that particular day, so the dietitian can really dive into the data quick, easy, and fast.
Gotcha. Yeah, I helped design a lot of this. I'm so glad that you guys are going with, some of the design work. But also, how, where are you guys with the development? I'm just curious.
Of aspirational or in general?
Aspirational.
I'm sorry, I lost you.
Sorry, the aspirational?
What we're doing is very much the question that you asked, is we're prioritizing what's going to get us closer to revenue, and what that looks like. So we're just making decisions on that. And we're looking at what pieces of the aspirational dashboard will get us there.
Gotcha. But yeah, that's super cool, Julian. I also, I like all like how you led dietitians through a lot of the user research. How do you explain, because actually the software itself is pretty complicated. Well, it's not complicated, but it's more like it can be a lot for them to, go through Figma, especially if they've never done it. And then, they're like, okay, how do I do this testing? How do you help dietitians with all of that?
So what's interesting about this is kind of like, it's a little bit of like Apple Steve Jobs. It's like, if you build something truly for this audience, you don't have to really explain it, right? So once you listen to enough of the dietetics, the dietitians talking about their experience with patients, what they're looking for, what they need, this aspirational dashboard that we design is just an obvious. It becomes obvious. If you talk to them enough and you show them enough screens and this just becomes obvious. So when they log in, they're already programmed to look at medical records and a dashboard. So it's already like the user intuition and their knowledge, it's already higher than most, just because they already understand. So when they land here, they look at it and they're like, oh, okay, there are my notes. You can turn on and on the categories. Here's the calendar. I can see the meals. Oh, whoa. Oh, wow, I can filter. Oh, I can see the meals on a macro perspective. Oh, wow. Their eyes open up, right? Because it's just obvious that this is what they needed and that no one's ever designed it for them.
Gotcha. It's kind of like, giving them delight through the design and just showing them it's like showing them something they never knew they needed, basically.
That's Steve Jobs for you.
Yep. But yeah, I'm super excited about everything going on with Sizzle. I'm super excited with everything going on with your podcast too. And I was just wondering, so if you're just trying to start a podcast, what's your advice for someone trying to start a podcast?
Oh man, go listen to my 2 podcast episodes about podcasting. I have 2 episodes. The first one is who shouldn't start a podcast. And the second episode is, if I remember the title correctly, it is who shouldn't listen to a podcast and how to create a podcast that people actually listen to. And those 2 were great rubrics. Every time someone wants to start a podcast, they listen to that and they're like, oh my God, I wish someone would have told me this. I've spent so much time, or I open their eyes and it gives them these paths. And you're probably listening to a total of maybe 30 minutes of between both episodes. These are short episodes and they're to the point. We're not roundabouting conversation. They are just right there. Or what do you need to know? And so I would say go listen to those 2 episodes. They are great starts. A teaser is of the episode. I'll give you 2 teasers. One about the first episode, which is who shouldn't start a podcast. And you shouldn't start a podcast if it's not the best solution to a real problem. Meaning, is a podcast the right solution to a real problem? That's number 1. Number 2, how to create a podcast that people actually listen to. You should have a brand new revelation every 2 to 3 minutes, revealing something brand new, and not focusing on something and ruminating on something existing. It should be something new and exciting every 2 to 3 minutes.
Gotcha. I'm definitely gonna go watch them just because I'm interested, but also, how do you, kind of make that process? How do you keep your podcast super inspirational, exciting, and revealing things? How do you keep it, how do you keep it so fun?
It's all the work for a podcast is done before the day you record. Topic research, understanding what you're going to talk about, understanding your guest, understanding, the nuances of the conversation. And so it's just a lot of preparation. And so before this call, I had someone talking about the podcast, and I actually have their notes here. This was for an episode. And so, some of the notes I said, hey, what topic do you want to talk about? And she was like, oh, I could talk about anything. Great. Good start. And so then the next question I asked her, I said, if there was one thing that you could pick that someone might be feeling, that they realize that they're feeling, that is a warning sign that something isn't right, what would that be? And that's when I got her talking. So you got to know how to get something out of your guest. And not everyone is a podcast guest. Not everyone is prepped to be a guest. She actually, once I got her in that focus, I could tell she's going to be a great guest. But you kind of have to wrangle some people, and it takes a little bit of time to kind of develop those parameters.
Gotcha. How do you develop the skills to suss out a good guest?
Practice. I actually recorded a full season of 15 episodes, and I threw it in the trash. This was my very first podcast. And not to say they were bad speakers, but I wasn't ready. They weren't ready. I wasn't coaching them. It was everything. All of this, Asana, is experience. It's just getting out there and doing it and seeing it. You can read about it. You can listen to this live stream, but it's all about doing it.
Gotcha. I know that you have such a wide range of expertise too, and I know that you're just the type of person to just go out there and do it. So I really admire that about you as well. I think that's definitely something, when people ask me, oh, how do you become a designer? I say, go make a design, go build an app.
Cry.
Yeah, try a few things, just if you have an idea for, I don't know, an app that you would use, just go make it, go find it, go on Figma, just do a few tutorials, figure out how it works, and then go put the thing together. So definitely a big advocate for that. But also I was wondering, so how do you build your personal, how do you get people to watch your podcast?
What I would say right now, probably the biggest sort of secret, if you will, it's not even much of a secret, is do a clip channel on YouTube and do clip channels on your TikTok.
Gotcha. But how do you get them to care? Because you said, you want to do things that people actually want to listen to or watch.
Yeah, that part of that is really listening to looking at the podcast space. What's out there, what's not out there, and are you the right person to deliver what's out there, what's not out there, I should say. And so, it's a lot of work and a lot of trial and error, and, hopefully you have a couple people in your ecosystem, sphere of influence, who are willing to kind of tell you, hey, that sucks. And I shared my podcast with enough people, and they told me it sucked, and I went to listen to it, and I'm like, I think the biggest thing is, would you listen to your own podcast? So many people record a podcast and they never even go back to listen to it themselves. If you wouldn't even listen to it and it doesn't engage you and doesn't hold your attention, you're doing something wrong.
Gotcha. So it's you need to test your own thing and see if you want to do it. Gotcha.
If you would listen to it.
If you would listen to it, if you would watch it, if you would, if you would hire that designer. So it's all you just see your instincts is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I definitely go a lot based on instincts.
Gotcha. And I'm also just curious, but so when people say they don't like your stuff or they give you constructive criticism, how do you take it? How do you learn from it and not take it personally?
Very big question. how do you not take it personally is the first thing I'll answer. You probably need a therapist and a coach. You got to work through some of maybe your unresolved trauma and go through all that. But once you get through that, how do you just not take it personally, and what do you do? When someone says something to me that is constructive feedback, I just ask them questions about it. I said, oh my God, that's so great. Thank you for sharing that. This happened today. Someone said, hey, go put on one of our websites, go put like who's like on the board or something on it. Just put a picture of people on the website of who's behind this organization. I said, oh my God, that's so great. Thank you for sharing that. That is a really important piece of information that I actually hadn't thought about. Tell me a little bit more about that. And then you just get them. You want to reward someone for giving you constructive feedback, because not enough people give each other constructive feedback.
Gotcha. And then how do you figure out like how to pivot, and if you want to pivot, like if you want to take it, if you want to pivot?
I think that's a very nuanced question. I don't think there's just a binary answer. Here you go. Here's when you're ready to pivot. If you've heard from multiple sources that something else is more important, that should be assigned to you. Then you have to manage between, do they just not see it, or is it true? So that's why I like Figma a lot, because you can show them the actual file. You can, without coding anything, you can show them what it looks like. And if they're like, yeah, no, or yeah, I like it, then that gives you a signal. Same thing with the podcast. Would you listen to this? When did you stop listening to this? That's also good to know.
Gotcha. I'm also interested because I see that you've built like such a cool personal brand too, because I've seen like a lot of your stuff, like your podcast. I've seen, someone in chat actually is asking you, who's your favorite possible podcast guest? Like if it could be anyone in the world, who would you like to be on your podcast?
On this one, or any podcast I would ever have? I'll just answer it on this podcast. On this podcast, I already have the people that I want on it. All the people that want to be on the podcast, that I want to be on there, have pretty much come. I think a couple people said no just because the companies they work for, like, just there's a conflict, or not a conflict, just they don't allow them to do that kind of publication. So we invite dietitians and they come on the show. So I get to invite everyone. But if you were to ask like Mia, like who would be a guest that I would, I'd like to interview Andrew Huberman. That'd be fun.
Why Andrew Huberman?
I think Andrew's at the precipice of something very interesting of, 8 out of the 10 leading causes of death are preventable by lifestyle nutrition. So I think Andrew's there, and he understands that intently, and understands the human brain and how we make decisions, and he understands like where all that is. So I think that's what's interesting to me, is that he's on the cusp of preventative healthcare.
Gotcha. I like that answer. I don't know if I have heard too much of his stuff, but the stuff I have heard has been good. So I do like kind of that answer as well. Let's see. Does chat have any other? Another person from chat is asking, tell us the story of designing the loose stool graphic that people want to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I actually didn't design that. So that's a good question. Who designed that? Yeah, that was actually that's a big problem, right? Because you don't want to pick something. Actually, there's a brand that I'll show you that did a really good job with this very recently that I just saw. I was really impressed by their ads because it's about stools, mm-hmm. right? And producing good stools. So actually, here's a good one. This is how they solved for it. So it's Seed, they're a probiotic company, and
okay.
look how they solved for loose, constipated stools.
Gotcha.
Let's see if I can show you guys. It was really, I thought it was brilliant. I'd love to be able to give you a better answer, but I also know when not to say
Yeah.
what I don't know. I just know that when I saw it, it made a lot of sense.
Gotcha.
So let's show you, it's going to be here somewhere. They have a lot of ads. So it was really similar format to what you just saw.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to be able to find it super quickly, but they did a very similar with those white clay things. There's a constipated one. Here it is.
Oh. Yeah, that's like a good way to show it without showing it.
Right. Look at that. I mean, isn't that cool?
Yep. Very cool.
So I thought that was a brilliant idea. So I can't give you a ton of information on how they did that. We had to look at our aesthetic and we had to look at our branding guidelines and adopt that for what's called the Bristol chart, which is where these hoop icons come from. So yeah, it was definitely a process, and I tip my hat to it between two designers that I think did that, and they did a brilliant job.
Gotcha. Well, that sounds good. It seems like we're coming to like an end with our time. It was really nice talking with you, Julian, and catching up. I wanted to just end off asking you, do you have any advice for, future product leaders and future designers?
I think it's always the same is do your research. I think whether you're a product leader or whether you're a designer is do your research into your brand. It shows in your design, guys. It just does. And the more you understand about the problem, the better your designs will be. And I bet you that's a place for inspiration for both products and designers.
Gotcha. Well, I'm so happy to have you on the stream today, Julian. It was so much fun. I wish you all the best in all your endeavors, and hopefully we can work together again soon.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure being here. I was honored that you invited me to your stream. So thank you, everyone.
Yes, we had to have you on. You were a part of Sizzle, one of my favorite places to work. It was so fun.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. See you later.
See you. Bye, Julian. Have a good day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys, that's the end of our stream with Julian. I will go ahead and put in his LinkedIn on our stream in case anyone wants to connect with him. He's a great product leader, so definitely go ahead and connect with him. So I'm going to go to LinkedIn. But we're going to go back to doing some Blender stuff. Julian. Where is Julian? Okay. Julian. And definitely reach out to him too if you have like anything to do with entrepreneurship. I think he's definitely a good person to reach out to. But yeah, that's gonna be my end of the thing here. And then we will go with
the future of your business is here. With Wix, you get advanced AI.
Okay guys, so I'm gonna continue doing my design portfolio stuff. And yep. Earlier today, I want to tell you guys some stuff. So earlier today, I did like meal prepping. I haven't done like meal prepping in a really long time, but I made like turkey and I made like veggies and then just rice. But yeah. And yesterday I made like this glass box. The thing was that it was a little bit frosted and hard to see through, but I was able to fix that. So I'm super excited because now I know how to do spline. So now I'm gonna go ahead and make some stuff. I think his answer about therapy was funny. I found that very funny, actually. But I mean, he's right, but it was still funny. Okay. One second, guys. Let me bring, I'm gonna get some water, actually. I'm a little bit thirsty. Okay, guys. I actually want to figure something out. I need to see if you can take like Blender into... Oh, is this a new movie? From Ryan Gosling? Anyways, let me go with how to use Blender in Spline.
Go to motionarray.com and enter a world with over 2 million creative assets to bring your vision to life.
Okay, how do they do this?
So, if you want to check out the initial to reduce the amount of faces it has, because it's going to be way heavy.
Okay.
So it's be split into that deep. Let's see here. Save as. So you don't want to ruin this original one. Let's see here.
How to say like how to import. Oh, okay, there's some stuff here. Cool. Good tutorials. Let's
Hi,
start.
this is Mark from Wiki Design. In this Spline tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can easily import 3D models like this on a platform like Sketchfab directly into Spline. In this example, I'm going to show you two different models that you can import. So in this first one, I'll show you how you can import a simple fish like this. And then in the next example, we'll do something a little bit different and how you can import a model like this that's already animated. So you can see right here how the truck is animated. I'll show you how you can also import animated 3D models into Spline. So let's just jump right into it. So if you're new to the 3D space, they have a lot of different marketplaces. In this example, I'm just going to show you Sketchfab, but they also have ones called TurboSquid, and there's a few other ones out there where you can download free 3D models, and then they also have more paid premium type of 3D models. So in this example, we're just going to be using some free models. So what you can do is you go to a platform like Sketchfab, and in this example, I wanted one of a fish. So you can really just type in the words free fish, and then you're going to see that when it looks at the texture level, just make sure that you try to always start from the lowest megabytes right here. So in this case, and then if you're happy with how it looks at the texture level, just make sure that you try to always start from the lowest megabytes.
So it's just like GLBs? Gotcha.
It has like a
I wonder. We want to try this one later. Like. Don't have time to watch this guy's whole video. Let's see like what he does.
Model than the other, and leaving it with these the modifier. That's so maybe 1,000.
Okay. Let's see if we can kind of import something from Spline. Oh, okay, you can import. Oh, okay. So you can do GLTF, OBJ. Okay. I think I may know how to do this. Eesh. Let's see. How are you guys doing too? Tell me. Oh, we don't want this one. It might just be on my other computer. But it's like, I'm trying to look for... No, we don't want this one either. We want the one where we made something cool, where it was where the heck is this? I don't know. It was like the whole dollar, I think. Oh, this is cool. I'm so confused. God. Mm. So this is all the city model stuff. And then in our archive somewhere. Can't really find where in our archive. Wait, I'm confused. So in the archive, there's a few folders. Should be like a tangible 1. Should be like a tangible 2. Alright, let's just see if we can put something in here. So this model is not very good. Let's see if she can find a better one. We need like the single dollar file, but I can't seem to find it. Let's see if we can't do this one. Let's just see how this looks in Spline. See what Spline does with this. If it does anything with it. Where is the object though? Let's see if we can't import this top. Oh, what's the what's the error that it's giving us? Oh. Okay. Does that do it? I don't know. I'm so confused. Let's see. I'm so confused, man. Let's try making it an OBJ.
Whitefish. So, thanks to doing something like that, images and
That's nice. My content is... Well, I mean, if you're watching it, it can't be that boring. That's always what I say. Hold on. Okay. There you go. I mean, you could always not watch if you find the content boring. Although I'm glad you're still watching, but I don't know if you ever find it boring, you could always not watch it. There's that option. Just letting you know. Where is this thing though? Where are other guys? Oh, I'm not sure. I mean, if you mean the guest is gone. If you mean like the other viewers, they're there. I mean, it says like 6 people are watching right now, so cool. There's a few of you. I mean, I think Jack is around. Oh my god, did I just like X out of the video that I needed? That's annoying. Oh, this is a video, okay.
Well, I'm a paid actor, and this isn't a real company. There's no way to fake how fast you can hire on Upwork.
this is not from what you design. The image itself is what was made for the export. You can see on a platform like this, it's animated whenever you see the timeline like this, and of course you see some sort of animation. So in this case, I wanted a low poly truck, and I saw that it had the little, smoke coming out of the pipe right here.
Oh my
So
god.
it's the same as the fish. So if you just go down and click download 3D model, we're going to download the GLB file. And as you can see, this is only 1 megabyte. So just go ahead and download that and import it just like you did with the fish. I'm just going to click and drag in that GLB file right here, and then just go here, just like the other one. Let's go ahead and delete the rectangle.
Okay, so let's
And
try
if I
making a
just go ahead and
GLB
hit the play
file.
button, you're going to see that it's animating automatically
Uh-oh.
with the little smoke.
I see.
So I thought that was really cool. And I wanted
Someone argue with RBR for funds. I meal prepped today, guys. I made turkey and some veggies and rice. I made like a whole bunch so that I can just eat them without cooking for the rest of the week, which is great. I'm also getting hungry, which is fun. I just don't feel be see if that works. Just got a reality converter. See if that works at all. And sort of. Let's see if that exports. I think they also have some GLTF folders. Archive. Should have some GLTFs. Where's my GLTFs? That's annoying. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if it brings in... Oh, so it brought in the GLB file. Okay, what about a GLTF file? Oh, okay. Gotcha. It's too large. Let's see if this one works. No, for some reason it's not bringing in my GLTFs, which is hella annoying. Let's see if I can't bring in another one from Dropbox. Mm. Let's just try the house. Oh, okay. I want like I slept almost 12 hours today. I'm still sleepy. It might be because you're oversleeping. Like, that's actually a thing. If you oversleep, you can end up with you'd end up feeling more tired if you're like not sleeping regularly, and if you're not sleeping, if you're oversleeping. Saying like, so if you're just like sleeping, okay, that's annoying. Okay, fine, I won't lecture you. But,
Easy to do.
no, if you have an irregular sleep schedule, that's probably why. Oh my god, I'm not a very motivational speaker. Honestly, would like to be a motivational speaker sometimes, though, because those people make a lot of money. It is. Yeah, I'm gonna switch gears and not do the portfolio for now. I'll just go ahead and do one thing. I'll do like the VR mural. I have a different project I need to do. Here, let me Dropbox myself, or airdrop myself a file. Jesus. I'll just email it. Is it though? I mean, I'm not sure if... Oh, gosh. Nope. Don't want us to show my photos on screen. Damn it. I'll just email this to myself. Wait 1 second, I'll just blur off my screen so that I can do... I'll just hide my Mac screen capture so I can get this photo. Where is this? Okay. Now I got it. Is being a motivational speaker good business though? I always feel like you're always gonna have to like please someone else. Or it's just like so, I don't know. grab like an apple, guys? I'm hungry. Again. Okay, let me let me go grab my apple. No forehead cam. Is she fully... Oh. LMAO. Is she fully blown the camera now? No. Below the camera? Oh. No, I was above, see? I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick, guys. Okay, I'm back. What? Okay, I almost died, but sure. I need my apples. City grid illustrations. I'm so hungry, man. Fudge, have you tried Spline before? was fully submerged below the camera. Let me see. I want to start doing like. So let's put all our references here. Let's check out Adobe Aero. Do I not have my Adobe Aero on this account? Well, that's annoying. I don't have my cloud stuff here, so I can't really do that. Fine, I'll just make the mural then.
Looking to instantly upgrade your Mother's Day gift from typical to meaningful? Shop Etsy. Get up to 30% off well-crafted and personalized gifts from participating
Yes,
shops
guys,
until
go
May
to
12th.
Etsy.
Embrace your creative
This stream is brought to you by
Shop
Etsy.
for custom jewelry, style pieces, home decor, and extra special items she'll adore.
Yes.
Something original and affordable for Mother's Day? Etsy.
We
Shop until May 12th for up to 30% off gifts for Mom. Terms apply.
are on Etsy. Google. Let's try some dribble. I like this music for some reason. What do you guys think? Love how Fudge was so excited that I was below the camera. Also, Fudge's puppy is so cute, man. Such a cute puppy.
Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases you want, like dance lessons. And on what you need, like memory foam inserts. That's real life ready. Visit wellsfargo.com/activecash. Terms apply.
Guys, wait 1 second. I'll show you something. I really want to have this today for dinner. I'm so excited because it's the next one that I will be having tonight. And then there's this one too. Don't you guys think like this HelloFresh stuff looks so cute? And it's also like the Szechuan noodle fry, which is good. But oh my god, I'm so excited to eat this one. This one is the one I want. Beef flautas. I'm gonna cry. It's so good. Okay, I'm back. But oh my god, beef flautas. Ay, ay, ay. Let's make like skyscraper illustrations too. Are you guys doing well today? Did you eat your breakfast, guys? I'm gonna start giving lectures about that now. Because I fainted because I didn't eat breakfast. But yeah. Damn, why am I thinking about food right now? Is it just because I'm like super hungry? I don't know. I swear to God, that's like what I do the most when I design. I think about food. And how much I want food. Food is my one true love in this world, I have to say. Look, none of you guys are talking to me. I feel so sad. I want you guys to talk to me. Tell me how you guys are. Bother me in chat. It's totally cool if today's a slow day though. But, eh. What are your plans for this week, guys? You planning to do? Is it gonna be a busy week? Is it gonna be a slow one? Are you guys planning to do anything fun? Let me know. I wish I could like show you guys like copyrighted music or whatever, because there's like this funny video that I like, but I think like YouTube and Twitch will get mad. I'm just gonna create this building, and then I'm gonna create a few others and then start like putting it on this base that I created. And basically, I'm trying to recreate like a version of this. So this like shows us like climate change, and the effects of climate change. So it's showing us like redlining, how that's done here in San Francisco, and then just kind of like stuff that's happening because of the climate. So I'm gonna do the same thing with redlining, but I'm gonna take out the humans and just have it be a lot of like smoke and clouds and whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of my ideas there. chat saying something. Okay, okay. Oh my god. There's like an ambulance that just ran by and it was like super loud. I should move a little bit. I'm watching myself. That sounds like somebody like squirting. That music. So funny. Damn, there's like this huge. Oh my god, what's going outside my house? There's like loads of. Oh my god, Jesus Christ, what's going on? There's like this crazy amount of like sirens and police sirens and ambulances. Oh my god, what's going on? Whoa. I hope it's not another fire. Okay guys, I am gonna end the stream for today, but I'm gonna be back on the weekend, and I will see you guys soon. So happy to be back with you guys again. But yeah, it's been fun coming back to regular streaming. And I'm also thinking about like switching things up a little bit, trying out some new things. I've liked doing the interviews so far, but there are some new things in the works that I'm thinking about currently. But stay tuned. I will come back and probably do a lot of like my portfolio work next stream. But thank you guys so much. I will see you guys soon. See you next time.